Hello everybody, this is Lucas and today I'm going to be doing something totally different from any of my other videos and something new. Probably a new series, we'll see. Today I'm going to be doing a theory on the Five Nights at Freddy's books, The Silver Eyes, and the Twisted Ones. Now I don't currently own the Twisted Ones, but I did read it. I borrowed it from a friend. So I'm just going to be pulling things out of that and this one. And the theory that I'm going to be making is the main character. If you haven't read the books, please go and do that. If you haven't read the books, don't watch this video. Read them, then come back here and I'll explain it. But if you're unfamiliar with the books, the main protagonist is Charlie. And she has come back to her hometown to meet up with her friends. They go to Freddy Fazbear's, stuff goes down. But the main thing I'm going to be focusing on today is Charlie a robot? Now, I know most of you who have read the book is just like, what in the world? That's stupid. But I've actually pulled a lot of proof in here that she is. And there's also some things that I'm kind of worried about, like, if she was a robot, how does she grow up? How does she bleed in the Twisted Ones and in this book? And I'll get into that. But the first thing I'm going to... clue number one that Charlie may be a robot is near the beginning of the book. In chapter 1, page 5... No, sorry. Page 8... Charlie is recalling her future with her father about spare animatronics he didn't need going into his workshop. And Scott puts in, she knew her father took those back to his workshop and recycled them for parts, though she did not like to watch them be dismantled. We also see in the Twisted Ones that Charlie, as a child, gets scared and freaks whenever she watches her father dismantle a frog animatronic. So this could point to her being an animatronic because she doesn't like seeing other robots like herself being dismantled and stuff, because it's kind of like, that'd just be pretty disturbing if you were a robot. I mean, the next clue, so that's clue number one. The next clue is over here on page 10, where she says, Charlie is in her room just exploring at her old house, and she recalls that her dad put spare parts that he didn't need in his pocket, just in case, he would say, and she finds this piece of metal or circuit board near her closet. There was also a strand of her hair clinging to it. She unwound it carefully from the tiny lip of metal it was stuck on. A strand of her hair. So this could point to her being an animatronic because her dad may have been building her and that was just a spare part of her head maybe he didn't need, and her hair was still, some of the fake hair was still attached to it. And she also finds an elbow joint. She thought. I wonder who that was going to belong to. Maybe she found this, and her dad was going to use it for her, but later scrapped the piece because maybe it was too small. And also, Charlie only lets a select few of her friends inside of her bedroom. And the only one we really hear of going into her bedroom is John. So I think, honestly, that John is the only one that knows that Charlie is a robot because her dad told him, because he did good stuff and he knew he could be trusted, so he told her. Now, you're probably thinking, why would Charlie's dad even make a robot? If he had already had a son, he wouldn't really need one. I think it's because his son was getting lonely. He didn't like loneliness, just like Charlie says she doesn't. And so he built her Charlie as a friend, a sister. Then whenever Sammy, her brother, gets killed by William Afton, who's Springtrap in the second book, he raises Charlie as his own kid because he lost his first one. And then since he's grieving so much, he gets one of his animatronics to kill him. Now I'll do a theory on that too later. And then Charlie's aunt takes her. Now, if Charlie was an animatronic, here's the problem. How does she grow up? Honestly, all you really hear about Charlie is her younger days when she was in school in like first grade or something. Then she moved with her aunt after her dad killed himself, got his animatronic to kill him pretty much. All we hear really is that whenever she goes to her aunt's house, then automatically like that, just can snap, like that, she's a teenager. She's 18 or 17, and it doesn't really make sense. That I would think knowing Scott, he'd probably go back through her backstory, maybe like into her teen years, like 13, maybe to middle school, like 11, 12, but probably not. It's probably all pointing to her being an animatronic. And in the Twisted one, she bleeds. So that one, I was trying to find some evidence that it was fake. I couldn't really, so all I'm really going on is that the blood is not real, and it's fake, maybe something that her dad put in there to make people think she wasn't a robot. And the other, one of the last and final clues we get is that at the now this is a major spoiler. If you haven't read the books, turn back. But at the very end of the Twisted ones, Charlie dies. Quote unquote dies. Because she gets trapped inside of the Twisted Freddy, and that happens. But the last thing John sees is a woman bent over Charlie. And then he's ushered away by the police. And he said it was her aunt, the one who raised her. And then at the very end of the book, while they're all mourning Charlie's death at a diner, suddenly they see a car, and Charlie evidently walks out of the car. And they rush out. The only people who don't rush out are Charlie's, John and Charlie's new friend, forgot his name, in the Twisted one from college. And all of a sudden, John looks at him and says, "That's not Charlie." Now, I think that he knows it's not Charlie because he knows that she's a robot and that her aunt probably reprogrammed her, maybe, and this might be something they reveal. Scott reveals in the new book coming up. But that's really all I have to go on. So that's my theory on why Charlie may or may not be a robot. If you like the video, please like it, subscribe. If you want me to do something else like this, comment down below. If you have any theories, you want to debunk my theory, it probably won't be hard. Put that in the comments. I'll answer as best as I can. And if you want more stuff like this, I'll do it. So, thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.